Welcome back to the cabin. It's a lovely early fall day here. Colors have changed. I'm just gonna head out back behind the cabin, see if I can find a couple little mushrooms for breakfast. And we'll go on a little bit of adventure today. Got some things to do around camp and then headed out on an overnighter. So let's have fun. So you can see the colors here, maybe 40, 50%. Can't wait till they get really, really red. A lot of maple in here and aspen. Just a moment ago, I heard a raven calling. We have one here that actually seems to talk a little bit and sounds like it says hello. So that bird's, I feel pretty old because it's been here for at least 5 years. They're sort of talking over behind me, so it's pretty funny. I do have a lot of birds here at the cabin that I recognize over the years, and it's possible to do that. They come back every year. Their families nest in the same spots. They seem to know who I am. Like when I come here, the chickadees actually meet me as I'm coming in, and sometimes they'll bounce around on my head. They know they want food. I put food out for them today. Don't really hear a lot of the chickadees this morning, but I'm hoping they'll come and get some food soon. Got some bird seeds out, and we had very heavy rain here for the last few days, so I'm hoping I'll find at least a couple things to show you guys. It's kind of my favorite time of year. No bugs. You can sort of see through the woods a bit better. Might be a little bit hard to find some mushrooms given that there's a lot of leaves down right now. Just back in the woods behind the cabin here for breakfast. Looking for a little bit of mushrooms. A lot of heavy rains. So I'm just watching the ground looking for things. Oh, and over here there looks to be some mushrooms coming out of this stump. Let's take a quick peek. Here we have a young Resinous Polypore. You wouldn't think you could eat this, but you can. Kind of exudes this little orangey liquid from its margins. It's a really young mushroom. And you only want to sort of eat the tender edges, and you want to cook it, obviously. Lots of mushrooms out, and here we go. We've got some Lactarius thynos. Again, these ones have that bleeding orange latex. These ones are typically found in association with cedars. So lots of cedar in here, so wonderful. Grab a couple of these. A little one right there. Well, after all these years out looking around for mushrooms back here, I think I found the fox's den. Like, there is a fox that lives around here, and I never even noticed this. I always hear like sort of that fox screaming behind the cabin. The cabin's right there. And then look at that. That makes a lot of sense. I'll just send a camera down on a pole in there and see what's going on, but yeah, cool. That's where the fox lives. Always wondered. It's always hanging out in the field in the mornings and stuff like that, so right close to the cabin. I'm going to take some of the quail eggs and make an omelet this morning. It's pretty amazing how the sizes are so different. There's a huge one, there's a little tiny one, and you know, the colors are all so different. So yeah, still get about 8 eggs a day. The birds are molting right now, so they'll be getting on their winter feathers. Right, just making a little bit of an omelet here this morning. Got the Lactarius thynos and Resinous Polypore there. So nice tender edges of the polypore. A little bit of onion in there. Some bacon on here in a sec. On my black stone grill. So, ooh, yeah, look at that. Cooking really fast. Nice and hot this morning. So yeah, I'm gonna get the mushrooms in there. Pretty excited. 2-minute walk in the woods and got my breakfast already. And homegrown eggs. There you go. Got a little bit of cheese too. It's extra tasty. Oh, doesn't that look good? Bacon, the mushrooms, and cheese. I'll roll it up, I guess. Oops. There we go. Pop that in a bagel and call it breakfast. That looks delicious. Alright, just going to put this on the bagel here. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Ooh, awesome. Let's give that a try. Best breakfast sandwich ever. Okay, so I've actually just put a little bit of lettuce in there too. Let's give this a whirl. Looks really good. Mmm. Delicious. Mmm. I love the nice warm mushrooms in there too. Rice is hovering. So good. Gotta try this. Best breakfast sandwich ever. Well, I do love some breakfast television while I'm eating in the morning. Best view ever. You know, making food that has ingredients from the forest is amazing. I've often thought of how cool it would be to start a restaurant using wild ingredients for a lot of foods. So that would be pretty cool. Although it'd be hard to kind of supply all, you know, the kind of more special ingredients, like the things you may not find as often for a large volume of people. But still a really cool idea. You know, I would say with the mushrooms I had today, I think they're best served really, really fresh. I put a little bit of garlic powder in them and just sort of pan fried them and put a little bit of onions, obviously. So a lot of flavor. The polypore does soak up a lot of flavor. It kind of has a very spongy-like texture, whereas Lactarius, kind of a sweeter taste. But it's not super duper crunchy or anything like that, but it will absorb a lot of flavor. So you can certainly put some herbs and things like that. Just make sure to cook it really well. And I advise using especially the Resinous Polypore as fresh as you can get it. I find they get kind of like yucky when they sit around for too long. Well, it's pretty peaceful out here. I hear a few chainsaws going, just trying to decide whereabouts to go for the adventure today. A little bit of work to do here today. You can see that tree came down. The other half of it had fallen down a couple weeks ago, and I knew it had to go, and well, got snagged up on that tree there. And it's not quite ripped out of the ground yet, so just have to do a little bit of chainsaw work today to fix that out and make this less dangerous. Well, that old tree is down, and on some of the trunk that fell down, I found this fungus, and underneath it here in the porous surface, you can actually carve into it, so it's kind of like an artist fungus. Sitting on the deck here, you know, you can draw things on here, and they do stay over time. Maybe we'll use a knife to kind of get in there or paint them. And the trees. Sharpened up my stick here. Make a little forest. Pretty little trees. And when they dry out, your image will stay. Little flowers by the lake. Man, this is really bad. I'm not going to win any awards with this one. There you go. You get the idea. Inside the cabin today, I've got to replace that smoke detector, that CO2 detector. It's been kind of acting up lately. So my last trip there to Princess Auto, I ended up getting one of these Kitty 10-year smoke detector and carbon monoxide detectors, some of those little talking ones. So I'm just going to replace that one out. The other one's kind of getting old. So probably is similar, because I don't know if the other one's about 8 years old or something. Anyway, it just started randomly kind of going off and scaring me. So basically going to replace that today. And this year the Martin heater needs some servicing, so it was all cleaned out. I determined that the starter there was not working. It was clicking, but it was actually sparking out the top and not going down into the unit. So got that on order. I've also ordered another thermocouple just in case. Figured, well, I have some of the parts on order, might as well get what I need. It's been pretty hard to get parts for a lot of things, given what's going on in the world right now. So I figured I'd just order some extra stuff, have on hand. But I think the issue is a starter, because we're just having trouble lighting the gas. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it gets here soon. First I thought I could use something like this, just a regular barbecue igniter, but no, this one doesn't fit this this unit, so I had to order directly from Martin. All right, I'm all packed up to go. I'm going to head out and do a little bit of camping on the land tonight. Of course, this is a little pack on there. I've got mine on too, and my little orange vest. So off we go. Just going to go camp down by the river again tonight. So we're just going to get camp set up. It's supposed to rain for a few hours tonight, so I want to get in a nice sort of dry covered area. What I found here, an old lobster mushroom. Sweet! Wanted to find one this year. Not in this shape though. That's really cool. Lobster mushrooms have that really seafoody type flavor to their flesh. So it's really, really tasty. That was really nasty. Don't want to eat that one. But they are a delicacy. They're a really delicious wild edible mushroom. Wind's picking up here. I don't know if the wind will be keeping up all night long, but we'll make sure to tie down the tent really well. Holy moly, look at them all. They're all in here. Oh, wow. Oh my God, these are like great. Now you can see here, this is probably the original mushroom that got parasitized and turned into lobsters. Oh, look at that. Some of these are pretty old though. That's too bad. Oh, not bad, not bad, but oh boy, look at that. Oh, right on. Wow, they are all over in here, but too bad. Some of these are pretty rotten. But, oh man. Haha, just a few days too late on these guys. Wow. There's our first view of the spot of the river that we're going to go to. Some rapids up ahead. Let's go check it out. Here's a cold snake on the trail. Looks like it may have had a meal. This is a garter snake. Wow, look at it, so slow. Oh, woohoo! So that snake was probably a little bit more defensive and struck out at me just because it was cold and didn't feel like it could get away quickly from me. Anyway, so I let it be there and it just went off into the understory. Well, there's the rapids up ahead. Boy, it's water's really high. Lots of great colors over there. I'd say about 40% colors. Well, the goal was to go over that way, try to get to see the rapids a bit better. I've been through this area before, but the water is so high. On foot, cannot cross it. And it's kind of cool, gonna be cold tonight. I do not want to get soaking wet, so yeah, I mean, it goes all the way up there. We cannot cross that. There used to be some logs up here that one could go across, but well, that's not happening. Didn't bring the canoe this time. Holy mackerel. Brutal. Well, guess we're here for the night, surrounded by water. Royce went for a little swim and is now drying off in the sand. Oh boy, looks like someone will be sleeping outside tonight. So Royce is standing now at the site of the tent, underneath some really old cedars, so we'll get a lot of protection from the rain tonight. Nothing looks like it's gonna fall, so that's a good thing. Okay, so the tent is all set up. It's the Nature Hike 3-person tent. Figured bring the bigger tent this time, and because I might have to hang out here during some rain. It's a really roomy tent. Got it off Amazon. As you can see, it's a screen. It's like, I mean, honestly, if I took the rain fly off, it's all open. It's all fine, no CM mesh. Lots of space in there for sure. It's the Nature Hike 3-person tent. Just gonna hang out now, relax, and eat my lunchtime sandwich, my wrap. Delicious. You guys can see this, but there's these little tiny gnats that are swirling around my head. When the wind dies back a little bit, the gnats come out. I thought all the bugs were gone, darn it. Anyways, it's a little bit low, obviously, in the area where we are camping, right by the river. In the cedar swamp area there, you can see a bunch of ostrich fern. I'm up on a bit of a higher area of it, but probably that's where all the bugs are coming from. Of course, I'm always on the search for wild edibles, and down here by the riverbank, we've got some rose hips. This will be good for tea in the morning, rose hip tea. Some wild roses. Right down there too, that's awesome. Well, I'm headed out now, my little cruising vest, doing a little bit of foraging. Got my little foraging pouch on since I saw those lobster mushrooms a little while back. I'm just gonna poke around, see if I can find anything, and maybe have a little bit of mushrooms added to my dinner tonight. I think I'm gonna make some kind of pasta marinara thing, or primavera or whatever. So I'll need something to spice it up a bit. Here's another Lactarius. There you go. Excellent. This one's not too bad. This one could be edible for sure. And there's another one down there, right there. There's some more fresh resinous polypore, so I'm going to cut that up for tonight. But just I'm going to leave this here fresh. Nature's refrigerator. Keep it nice and fresh before use. It's all over this birch. Look at that. Wow. I'm going to take those young, fresh edges for dinner tonight. Cranberry juice, anyone? Here's some high bush cranberry down by the front of the water here. Man, this is awesome. I have to trip and fall in these little holes here. Oh yeah, look at that. Some high bush cranberries. Ooh, let's give it a try. Ooh, super tart. Really good though. Definitely tastes like cranberries. Man, that's delicious. We found lots of things today so far. Rose hips, high bush cranberries, lots of mushrooms to eat. Fabulous. Here's a great find. It's a tooth fungus. Right on. This is another edible type of fungus. It's really tasty. This is kind of young too, nice and fresh. So these rains have really done a good thing in this forest. All right, that should be good to go in my mushroom mix tonight. And here's a spring and fall favorite, the Dryad Saddle. Just gonna take this little guy right here. I'm gonna have to cut that. This one's too tough, it's a bit too old. You can see underneath, beautiful and white. Oh, the forest is full of mushrooms today. This is awesome. And here's some witch's butter, another wild edible, kind of as a jelly-like texture. Ooh, some very fresh Terrius over here. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's get some of these. Beauty. Oh, it's got a little bit of bugs. There we go. Nice. Right on. There's a big lobster holy. Oh, look at that. Too bad it's just a bit too late, eh guys? Oh man, look at that. Amazing. I have to laugh at myself. I saw the mushroom, I got really excited, so Royce came running over, and then of course he stepped on it, and I yelled, like, ah! And of course he thought something was really wrong. But no, it's just crazy old me. But thankfully, it didn't do too much harm. That lobster mushroom was not in good shape. Now here's a favorite woodland mushroom of mine, the Hedgehog Mushroom. You can see the little teeth in there. So that's cool. I haven't had many of those this year, so let's take that for the pot. And here's a really cool fungus. This is a jelly baby. Very gelatinous mushroom. I don't like the texture, so I'm not going to take that today. Oh yeah, these aren't leaves. These are chanterelles. Woohoo! Fall flush. Right on. Oh, sweet. Good find. And here's a fresh flush of Enoki Mushrooms. Ooh, I'm super pumped. So Enoki mushrooms in the wild have that color. Eventually the stems get a little bit brown and they have a white spore print, not a brown spore print, which is that of the deadly Galerina. So Enoki mushrooms, if you guys have seen them, and you know, it's a culinary, an excellent culinary mushroom. You'll see them in the stores and they're white. It's because they're grown in different conditions to make them tall and lanky and white in color. So, the more you know. Sun's starting to get lower in the sky, starting to think about dinner. So I'm going to try the classic marinara with penne. It's got Italian tomatoes, brown rice penne. I'll show you the ingredients. You know exactly what's in here. It looks really, really good. And there's the nutritional facts for you. It's a two portion product, obviously. So all I gotta do is add boiling water and let it sit for 20 minutes. You ever get one of those little frying pans that you can make, you know, cookies in and stuff like that for Christmas? Well, this is another good use for them. Just pack them in your pack for camping. So I'm going to use this to fry up my mushrooms. Probably need to go in a couple of batches, but it actually fits really nicely on my my little stove there. So just happened to bring that along, thank goodness. So while that's sort of cooking, I'll end up frying up the mushrooms and add it to the penne. I think will be really good. Got to keep the fire low tonight. The wind is, it's not terrible, but maybe 10-15 kilometers an hour. So I'm going to keep it nice and low in the fire pit and get some water boiling for the meals. Right, here are the mushrooms for supper tonight. So I gotta cut them up. Got the tooth fungus, got some Octarius. Decided not to go and get the Resinous Polypore. It's fine. Got lots of mushrooms here anyway. It's my Hedgehog Mushroom and Dryad Saddle, and there should be a chanterelle, and maybe it's stuck in the bottom of my bag. Okay, so I've got all my mushrooms. I brought some salt and pepper and some spices and some oil, so that looks really good. Perfect little one serving pan. Well, I'm making dinner here. Look who's passed out. He's been going non-stop. He's got about 12 kilometers on his tracker, so he's exhausted. Using the dog bowl as an oven mitt today. It's silicone, so got to get a little tiny silicone pot holder for getting things out of the fire while I'm camping. Right, mushies are all done. I'm going to put them in my penne container. All right, here's dinner. So the brown rice pasta is kind of broken up a little bit since I've been squishing the bag around, but it smells really good. Let's give it a try. Not bad. That's actually pretty good. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. Got red pepper flakes in there. Really good with my mushrooms. Yummy. And I'm enjoying tonight, as the sun's going down, I'm enjoying some elderberry tea. Got to stay healthy this fall, so elderberry is really nice and stimulating for the immune system. Very tasty too. Nice rich purple tea. Ooh, that's nice and warm too. Well, just going on a little walk. Mosquitoes are biting me. Ow, that's my hand. So we're just going to check out things down the path here that leads to the campsite. Lots of nice fall colors. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, my plan is to have some wild forage tea and some other yummy things. So stay tuned for that. I think it'll be an okay night. Looks like the rain may only last 1 hour tonight. We'll see. I hope it's not going to be too bad. The wind's going to die down. It already has died down, so that's a positive thing. It's nice and calm actually out here. Water levels are incredibly high. Check this out. If you need to make a bushcraft shelter, it's going to rain tonight. I just found this old piece of birch bark that basically fell right off this tree. It's broken and dead. But this piece right here could be a really awesome roof for a bushcraft shelter. Extremely waterproof. Now it'd go up like basically a huge fireball if it ever got a spark on it, but that'd be really great to shelter under in the rain. So as we're sitting here by the fire, I just ran into a couple of paddlers. Well, actually a few paddlers. Royce wants to go say hi. He made new friends. So those rapids that you saw earlier in the video, these folks actually ran them. So it's a grade 5 rapid, so you can imagine in a kayak how crazy that would be. A few of them rolled actually in a hole, but they got out just fine. So pretty exciting, really nice to meet some other people that are interested in the stuff that we're interested in. And yeah, Royce made a new friend. Well, there's the storm coming in. You can see the colors really nicely actually in this lighting, but you can also see that really nasty bank of clouds there. Some pretty heavy rainstorms coming in, so I'm just battening down camp. So I've got the food up in a tree and I've used the rain cover for my backpack to cover it so rain doesn't get into it. Probably should have brought a dry bag to put the kitchen gear in and the food, but that's okay. I'm just gonna put the fire out and get ready to head in the tent before the storm hits. It's only gonna last about 1 or 2 hours, but I don't want to be out in torrential rain. Good morning everyone, it's 6:30 and it was a great night here at camp. Very quiet. We had a little bit of rain, so I was thinking we were gonna get a ton of rain. Actually went around us, so just a little bit of stuff came down, nothing too serious, which is good. The gear is not soaking wet. It was a very quiet night except for the rapids, which was nice. I felt like I slept really, really well. It's like white noise in the background. So I'm just gonna have a little bit of breakfast now. Bagel and Nutella again. Excellent start. Boiling some water, and I've got some of those high bush cranberries and some rose hips in there. So I'm going to put them in my little tea bag and boil them to make high bush cranberry rose hip tea. I brought one of these tea bags that you can kind of make your own tea with, and we're going to stick it in there. Crush them up a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that red. Oh. It's going to be nice. Don't think we'll get to see the sunrise this morning. It's just a little too misty, and you can see my breath on the air. Actually, I think it went down to about 7-8 degrees last night again, so not too bad. I was pretty warm there in my tent. I had a nature hike, my down sleeping bag, and also my, I've had that little, you know, that in the previous video you saw, it looks like an old t-shirt, but it's not. It's like a tube sock for my body, basically. It's one of those sleeping bag temperature extenders, so I felt pretty warm. At one point in the night I got a little bit cool, so I've got, you know, several layers. I've got like my merino wool shirt, and I did put this wool jacket on at one point too, just as temperatures dropped and it got a little bit damp. But the nature hike tent was pretty good. It was very open, probably a little bit too breezy for this time of year, but very spacious. Feel bad, this thing kind of melted last night. Oh yeah, there's my cranberry tea starting. You know what, high-bush cranberries, sometimes they smell like dirty socks when you're boiling them. Don't worry, it tastes pretty good though. Just saw the osprey swoop in across that bay there. Last night, swooped over the campsite, over the fire pit, about maybe 30 feet up. It was really cool. He's probably out looking for some fish, getting some breakfast. Last night there was an otter bobbing around in that little bay there, so that was really cool. It's pretty much mostly the wildlife that I've seen at this campsite. Didn't even hear any deer or anything last night, so pretty darn quiet except for the rapids. Water levels are a little bit lower this morning. You know, there are dams that control the rivers in some areas, and so this is one of them. So water level has dropped a bit. It was really fast yesterday, so a lot of the kayakers and canoers that went through the rapids had a little bit of fun, I bet, yesterday. The waves were pretty wild. I have canoed whitewater before, and if you guys know my channel, you've seen one of the videos of me going through some rapids. That's a lot of fun. I tend to do them in lower water though, and which is usually autumn, you know, but right now water levels are quite high considering everything. There's been a lot of rain recently. So I usually do them in lower, you know, lower water conditions, and also I would do them, you know, little like grade 1-2 rapids. I don't really do much more than that. I don't know if I've ever done a grade 3, but kind of beyond my skill level. I don't know. I just still learning, but lots of fun. Maybe one day I'll use a kayak or you know, one of those little play boats. That'd be really, really fun, but my skill level definitely has to improve before doing that. Take a look at the color in there from the high bush cranberry and a little bit from the wild rosehip. Beautiful pinky red color. Like I said, it does smell a little bit like dirty socks. That tends to be what this smells like when you boil them, but it's really delicious. High bush cranberry and rosehip's actually very good in you know, high in antioxidants like vitamin C. Of course, I'm destroying it by heating it like that, but really nutritious for you. High bush cranberry is not really a true cranberry, but it certainly does have little little pit or little seed in there, so you kind of want to, that's why I'm kind of catching all that stuff here in this bag so that I don't swallow it. All right, let's give it a try, this rich pinky red drink. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh, it's so tart, just like cranberry juice. Does not taste like dirty socks, guys, don't worry. Oh, that's really good. Gotta love wild crafted tea. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So delicious. You got to be very safe in your foraging, but you got to try, you know, foraging for your own teas is so special. Well, I hope you guys have a great day. That wraps up today's adventures at the cabin and here in the wilderness. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great week. Take care.